3, 2, 1. Yo, what's goody? This is Chezza.
GMTM, aka St. Jason.
And I'm Mr. Steven S. How y'all doing today?
There we go. So you're releasing the name, or did I make you do that? Jason, St. Jason. Is it my fault that I put it out there and you're just like, I just got to put it out there now, or?
It's whatever. I was gonna go to find me where you can mode, but no matter.
It means it starts. If he's announcing the name, stay tuned for a lot of music, or just a couple. It depends on his mood. But anyways, this is the podcast where we like to talk about superhero shit. I really didn't hear of anything new. Looks like Mandalorian is kind of like controlling everything.
Officially, filming for Doctor Strange 2 started.
Okay.
So Doctor Strange is officially filming. Spider-Man 3 is officially starting. I think last week they started.
Oh, okay. So they're gonna get in as much as they can.
And they're getting ready to start. They're starting to watch Mr. Black Panther's getting on his way too.
And
Rihanna might be in it too.
And
that's what's up.
John Krasinski and Emily Blunt are officially in talks with MCU brass to play Reed Richards and Sue Storm.
That's what's up.
So
we'll see.
Moving.
More news will come for you guys, but yeah, that's what we're on right now. Is there anything else that I can remember? I don't believe so. No. Well then, anything else on superheroes?
Not that I can think of.
When's Black Widow supposed to come out? Next year, right?
There was something. I saw something, but it was unofficial. Something about it might be hitting Disney Plus on the Disney Plus's extra, the Prime, whatever it's called, that they're supposed to be doing.
Oh, like how they released Mulan.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So they're gonna make it. They're still gonna try to make people pay for it.
They might do that, but I think the official date so far is like May something.
Oh, okay, that's way down the line then. Okay. All right. So let's get into the wrestling. I didn't watch no AEW. I'm kind of over AEW, honestly. I tried for that time, but I'm just like, But
there's two people. There's two people I want to see in AEW, and that's Pac and Evan Bourne, whatever his new name is. I can't remember. They're really the only reasons why I continue watching.
Matt Seidel.
Matt Seidel.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
They're really only the two people that I'm interested in.
But then same time, I tried to watch NXT yesterday. And that show, it's boring. NXT is just like, it's cool when I saw the who the hell is UE again? Undisputed Era. They're dope. McAfee wasn't on, so he didn't really do anything. Finn Balor had a promo. That's Finn Balor. Kevin Owens came on just to seem like just to fuck around. It was just like, they sent me here. Let me do a few things. Damian Priest is dope. Damian Priest, when I see Damian Priest, I see Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
And voice alone, when he started speaking, you're like, whoa. Okay.
That's why I don't think he should have lost that title.
I think he's gonna win it back right now.
Unless you're gonna bring him up, you shouldn't have lost that title.
Sorry, I just choked myself on pop.
You okay?
I'm dying here. But
I had a pie eating contest today, and I bit my tongue like it was part of the pie. So fuck.
Wow, that's not even hungry. That's craving right there.
Yeah, bro. The whole side right here is all bite up like it was part of the pie.
Damn.
And I did all that shit to lose too.
Oh, that's that sucks. But okay.
No, man, there's some big body guys kind of going up against, man. You know what I'm saying? Like the guy who won, he outweighs me by at least 100 pounds. The guy who came in second outweighs me by at least 120. I was like, fuck. Like, yeah, I ain't gonna.
You're in there with pros, man.
Yeah, man. You gotta
man.
practice that. You gotta
The guy who came in second just came in silently. I just looked at him and was like, yo, I'm afraid of him. And when I looked at him, I was beating him. And then when I looked back up, half of his pie was gone. He's like, I didn't even get a good grip. I was like, fuck.
I don't even get a good grip on pie. Like, oh, man. But yeah, before I choked, what I was trying to say was, do you feel this Leon Ruff? Have you been taking in this whole Leon Ruff storyline?
No.
All right, so Damian Priest lost his belt to Johnny Gargano. Johnny Gargano went in the ring. He did the wheel. Had everybody's big names, but it was like Leon Ruff right there in the middle, like written in by hand. So you can tell that it was weighted where Leon Ruff would come in. Leon Ruff comes in, has a sort of match with like Johnny Gargano, but then Damian Priest comes in and Leon Ruff wins. So Leon Ruff is just a MAGA black guy, just MAGA. Like when they put the belt around his waist and he put his hands up to cheer, the belt dropped to his ankles.
Yo, I know who you're talking about.
Yes, Leon Ruff.
I've seen it, but I haven't watched anything.
And I'm looking at him, I was like, yo, I could have been a wrestler.
For real, like, so the man.
Slim, don't you go get no ideas now.
Okay. Listen, it's never too late.
Hey.
Yo, I'm ready for the 105
thing,
live.
Don't
buddy.
listen to him.
I'm ready for the 105 live.
But yeah, so even when the belt dropped down, Triple H made a joke on Twitter talking about this is why we don't call it a belt.
I like that. I like that.
So then next show, Gargano gets a rematch. Damian Priest comes through, like the match are going back and forth. What's his name comes out the ring and Priest hits Leon Ruff, so he retains the title. Gargano loses again. So Damian Priest in the back, he's kind of like making jokes with the announcer and shit. And Leon Ruff is like, yo, what, you take me for a joke? Yo, don't take me for no joke, yo. Whatever. Slaps Damian Priest in the face. Little man slaps him in the face. Then he goes to Regal and tells Regal, I'll take them both on one time. Regal just, whatever, you're talking tough, So then yesterday's episode, he had an interview. He was on an interview with Kevin Owens. And Kevin just joking around, you know what I mean? Like, the guy is happy to be there. Kevin just like, the man said, I beat Johnny Gargano twice. Kevin's like, what's wrong with you? You know, as soon as you say their name, they have to come out. Watch. 3, 2, 1. Nothing happens. He's like, oh, shit. Maybe I'm wrong. And then the music starts. Like, they kept playing those things with him. So down the line, Johnny Gargano comes out. He says Damian Priest. Kevin Owens says the same thing again. Like, now he's got to come out. So Gargano's coming out.
This sounds like a pretty interesting show from what you're telling me from boring.
No, this is just one storyline.
Oh, okay.
This is the one storyline. This isn't all in one show. This is like, for the past, we'll say 3 weeks, this has been happening.
So
like
I'm gonna go back and watch those matches after finish.
It's funny. It's funny. So then, they get in the ring and whatever. Leon Ruff is talking. Damian Priest is there, and he's just like, "Yo, you said you can take both of us on, so let's make that happen." So then Kevin Owens is like, "Oh man, this is NXT. There's no Teddy Long here. Who's the Teddy Long of NXT?" William Regal comes out. He makes the triple threat. And right before he leaves, turns around, he's like, "Playa." Walks out. I was like, all right, cool. But yeah, so this whole Leon Ruff storyline works into this triple threat where I assume Damian Priest is going to win again. But I want to know, was this Leon Ruff a plan from the beginning? Is he the reason why Damian Priest lost so they could run this storyline? You know what I mean? Or I don't know. But it's a really good storyline for NXT.
I would probably like, for me, it's just an accessibility thing. Like, I'm not gonna go online and look for links or anything like that and whatnot. I think I would probably enjoy NXT more than the main brands.
I personally like NXT. Right? I like NXT. There's less in my hour show or my hour and a half show. I'm not seeing 50 minutes or 45 minutes of talking and promotions and all the type of stuff. You know what I'm saying, within my hour show, I'm guaranteed to see about 3 or 4 matches.
Yeah, that's true.
In my hour show.
No, the matches in NXT, dope. They're always dope. But it's just like, I think it's more the look of it, like the ambiance of it isn't like big show, like a big show. You know what I mean? Like
you like the huge productions.
Yes.
That's your thing.
And then when it comes to the wrestlers, I like to see a lot of bigger wrestlers than just the smaller ones. And NXT just gives you more smaller ones than the bigger ones.
That is true.
Like, now you're just Vince.
NXT.
I'm pretty much Vince. I've been raised by Vince. I'm freaking brainwashed by Vince. So it's like when I see a guy like Damian Priest, I'm like, oh, okay, I can see this guy fight. But in my head, I feel like if I watch wrestling, I gotta feel you can beat me up.
Yeah.
If I don't feel you can beat me up, why do I care if you can wrestle? Like, you know what I mean?
That's true. That's the same thing. Billy Graham said. Billy Graham goes, if you go into these rings with some of these guys and you're looking at them, so he's like, I can whip his ass. Then it takes. He said it takes away from what the nostalgia of what wrestling is or what wrestling was.
Exactly.
Right. But that's if you're thinking old school, because again, if someone is born 10 years ago, they're gonna think Kobe and LeBron are the best players that ever played the game, right? We're gonna say it's Jordan. So it's just it's a different mindset of what you think of what a wrestler. Because if you look at half of those big wrestlers, half of them could even wrestle.
Yeah.
I was about to counter.
But at the same time,
I was about to counter and say, like, if you look at somebody like Ahmed Johnson, they could have ran wrestling, but he had no knowledge of the business. He wasn't skillful. He just looked like $1 million.
Yeah.
Warrior drew money. Warrior drew money, but not long-term money. He could have run the business.
It's true, but it's like in the NBA, like they were in a place full of trees. Like, you know what I mean? They're a tree in a forest. Like, you know what I mean? So even though Ahmed Johnson's here, a big ass dude, there's another 10 people on the roster that same size or bigger. You know what I mean? So if he don't make it, it's like jumping onto that professional level. Like when you're a professional, everybody's a professional. You're not the top guy on your high school team anymore. You're not the top guy in your college. You're in a place with straight professionals. So like when Ahmed Johnson doesn't make it, to me, it's the other stuff that doesn't do it. You know what I mean? It's not the look. The look is what brought him in the door.
I brought that up. I brought that up to say that just because they got the look or whatever doesn't mean they're going to give you the most entertaining match.
No, it's true.
And they might not be able to do what Bret Hart or Daniel Bryan or Chris Benoit can do. And
same time, I can believe a Bret Hart or a Daniel Bryan or even a Rey Mysterio can beat me up. Like, I look at Bret
Jericho
Hart.
took down Goldberg.
You know what I mean? Like
in a shoot.
They make me kind of believe, kind of like an MMA fighter. Like, yo, if they get their hands on me, they will twist me up in ways I didn't even know could happen.
But I hear what you're saying, because you look at and I'm not being sexist, but I kind of understand when they say women's wrestling kind of ruins certain things, because as you say, you expect wrestlers to be these big, huge guys, right?
Yeah.
But when women wrestlers are about my size taking a bump, you know what I'm saying? They'll be like, well, and you have men, you have guys your size, regular size men your size, looking saying, well, she can take a bump.
Exactly.
Then I can definitely take a bump. Yeah. I can go against these guys, because it's all about safety and going for bumps, right? When you look at Sasha Banks isn't bigger than me, but the shit that she got bent up and does is like, well, if I train for 6 months or a year, I can do that.
Chez, I'm getting worried. This is the second time in less than 10 minutes he's suggested training to get in the ring. I'm worried. Slim, please.
Yo, listen.
Yo, I'm going in with see my robe right here? I'm going in with my robe.
Listen, me and Trace will be the new managers. We're a tag team managers for one guy.
Oh, you're the manager. I'm the advocate.
There we go. He just has all these people, and it's like, why do you have all these people? Because I'm a business.
It's like who was it that Cornette and
Fuji?
Clarence Mason?
Okay.
They were together at the same time. They were managing. Who was it they were managing?
That I don't remember.
I want to say Yoko.
No, that wasn't that Mr. Fuji and Cornette. They were doing Yoko. I remember hearing Cornette talk about it because Fuji wasn't really dope at doing promos. So they brought him in so they can do the Lex Luger angle type thing. Yeah.
Right.
But they could have switched it up too and brought another person in. But yeah.
Hey, now you're encouraging him still. We gotta switch topics.
Did you even notice I encouraged you as well?
You did, but I'm incorrigible. I will go for it.
Slim. Be like St. Jason.
Hey, I'm ready.
We'll have to get and we've been saying it for a while. We have to get Justin on here. And talk about him training and taking bumps and all that stuff.
Here's the thing. The first time I met him, right? I remember, Mr. Solomon said, "Yo, I'm gonna bring your friend Justin's house." I'm like, "All right, Justin's house." He wrestles because he knows I like wrestling, so he was like, "You and him will click wrestle."
Yeah.
So I go there, right? And I was like, "All right." He goes, "This is Justin." I was like, "Oh, you Justin?" I'm looking Justin to be like me or Chaz, not even me.
Like a big dude.
Like Chaz. When you mean big, right? Like, I mean like he, like a more. Okay.
But he's more of an manager though.
He's more of a manager?
Than an actual wrestler.
Yeah.
He's more manager than actual wrestler.
Okay, I thought he was wrestling.
But he's training though.
Yeah, he trains though. Like
he's training.
He's trained, yeah, because
he's going to do it.
He don't have, okay, let me say, that wrestling physique. That's what, like,
he doesn't have the Vince look.
He doesn't have the Vince look.
Yeah, the look that Vince wants. The look that Vince wants.
The Russo look, the Cornette look.
Yeah. Let's say the old school look.
He don't have that. So when I'm looking, I'm like, oh, okay. Because my brother Mikey, he's a wrestler. He looks exactly like Kofi Kingston, but maybe like 2 inches shorter. Right?
Okay.
And when I saw him wrestle, I was like, because people say, "Yo, I used to wrestle." I'm like, yeah, whatever. Until he showed me his tapes, and he went 30 feet, jumped, and went through two scaffoldings, two sets of tables.
Mm-mm.
I was just like, so when I look at him, I compared the two wrestlers. I'm looking at him like, oh, you couldn't probably do what Mikey did, but again, probably Mikey can't do what you do. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I still want to see him wrestle.
Yeah.
But now, I guess you ain't gonna see wrestling for like another 2022.
Not for a while.
We'll see. Florida doesn't care, so.
I ain't going to
Florida.
Trust me, I just talked to my uncle in Florida. He was just like, man, they don't care for nothing. He's like, I'm just happy I'm COVID free, and that's it. Like,
yo, they don't care. Yo, Floridians, again, as Charlemagne said, the craziest people.
The people in the States, from Bronx and all of Florida.
So Tallahassee, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, all that place.
Broward County.
Yep. It's crazy.
All right, so actually, right before we get into our what is it? Was it Survivor Series that just passed?
Yeah.
That show. Before we jump into that, I'm kind of tired of all these pay-per-views. There's a way
they're getting boring.
They're just getting boring. Like, I feel they should change their whole structure of it, where it's like some are just WWE specials, like on the network. Like, to watch it, it's on the network. If you miss it, you miss a few things, but it's not crazy. You know what I mean? Like the Survivor Series, they could have did that as a special.
No, you know what?
And then the big ones, grab big four, so WrestleMania, SummerSlam, or whatever. Make those actually big ones. You know what I mean? Like, the little ones are just in between. You don't build to those little ones. Those are just in between. But you're building to the big four. And then actually make those still pay-per-views.
Yeah.
So people have to purchase that. But if you want to add it to the whatever network that they do, whatever. But build to the big four, and the main middle ones are just like network specials that are like big enough that we'll see matches we don't usually see. So then they can do those gimmick matches, Survivor Series, Hell in a Cell. Like those can always be those gimmick type shit.
They can always go back to the format of having brand specific pay-per-views.
Or it goes 1-in-1.
Because
or two.
It wasn't that long ago that they were doing it. I can't remember when they stopped doing it.
That's true.
Yeah, and it was good because you weren't seeing the same wrestler at every other pay-per-view you saw the wrestler, right? You didn't see him at every pay-per-view.
That's true. Yeah, that makes sense. That would make sense too.
Yeah.
But
what I think they should do is also go back to the old school way of wrestling where if I'm feuding with you, I'm not going to be wrestling you for 3 weeks for 2 weeks straight and then fight you at a pay-per-view. No.
Yeah.
We might
Should
have
be a month.
There might be a tag team match that we are in the same ring against each other, or a tag team match where we are paired up with each other. But there is no, you're not going to see a one-on-one contest with those two wrestlers having a match.
Truly,
one might be the guest referee.
They should make
referee,
it.
One
Truly,
might be the commentator.
You're right. You're right though, because it makes you want to see them in a match together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if
I've seen you,
if the build-up is
3 times in the past 2 weeks together, why do I care?
But if the build-up is okay, on week 1, you guys say you guys are gonna go against each other for the title. Pay-per-views on week 4. So on week 2, week 3, they should be going up against other people. Mm-hmm. Kind of like an exhibition, like this is you getting your energy up. This is you getting, you know what I mean? But they might match you up against people that are similar to who you're going up against, just to give you that vibe, you know what I mean? And then once you hit the pay-per-view, they hit each other. But in the middle, they could be, you know what I mean, little swerves in their matches where one comes out and distracts them, he loses, haha.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like you can do those things in
the ring, you know what I'm saying?
And then you can start using that, like that whole storyline of getting in somebody's head. It's like, man, he just keeps popping up. I can't wait till I get to his match. And it's like, yo, I'm in his head. Watch, he's gonna be way off, and you know what I mean. And they can do those promos as well. Week to week, they're talking about what they're gonna get to.
And they know it sells the following day's episode of whatever it is, SmackDown or Raw. Because if I know that on the Sunday, I just watched these two guys wrestle, but they only wrestled in a tag team match earlier. One was at the ring, one was in the crowd. They wrestled last night. It was a good match. I know the following match, if you guys decide to say on that show, we're having a rematch, guess what? No matter what happens, I'm going to make sure I watch that show to see whatever rematch happens. You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
You're waiting for it. But when I already saw it week 1, week 2, week 3, and then the other show was showing me what happened over on the other show of what happened. And then you guys have a match, and then when you guys come back the following show, you have another match. I'm tired. I'm good. I'm good. Let me see what AEW's doing. Like,
there's no reason for me to see you on a big show if I've already seen you. Like,
well,
you know what I'm saying? Like right now, I'm looking at
a big show.
I'm looking at there's the Hurt Business versus
New Day,
right? I was like, I seen 2 matches already. I was like, oh, you know what? It kind of ruined.
It's where it has to stop now. You know what I mean? Like they can't go up against each other again. Because then why?
How do you pay it off?
How does Hurt Business get another chance? They just got 2 chances, and they lost both. Most times you'd assume everything's a best out of 3. They're already out.
They're saying
it should be the next person.
They're saying that they might turn New Day heel. They said it was going to be Big E, but it might turn New Day heel, seeing how their moves that they do is not working without Big E there.
But you see, so yeah, I heard about that, but they said, okay, the reason why they said that was because on Monday it was a double count out. And New Day, they started going up the ramp like, fuck it, we'll take it. You know what I mean? And then MVP called them out and said, let's run it back. We can't let the match end like that. The issue is the match wasn't supposed to end like that.
Nope.
Cedric was supposed to make it in. Cedric was supposed to make it in the ring.
Yeah.
He missed it. So you see, so when Cedric got on the ring, they would have said, boom, Hurt Business won. They got to win. You got to give us a belt chance now. You got to give us a chance. But they lost.
Yeah.
So then when they called them back in, they had to throw that out the way, and they took the L. Boom.
Yeah, Vince called it. Vince called it back so let these guys win.
So it's like, fuck it, they won. So
yeah, but
that's pretty much done. So who's New Day going up against next? Retribution? Like, yo, so yeah, talking about Retribution. Before we get into SummerSlam, Survivor Series, Retribution, this week, main event. They're on main event, not in the main event. They are on main event. The show main event. So there's another botch.
I'm back.
Oh, yeah. You're not back. You're frozen, screw facing and everything. He must know he's losing this one.
I got a question. I think it was Sheamus. Sheamus went to Adam Pearce and said he wanted a match. And Adam Pearce said, all right, you got it. I'm booking the match. The match was instantly labeled unsanctioned. What is a sanctioned match if the guy running the program okays the match? Why is it unsanctioned?
Who is
anybody else book that?
Hold on, we can hear you. Who was the match against again?
I can't remember, but Sheamus wanted
it. Was somebody from what's it called? It was somebody from SmackDown. They wanted to fight Sheamus, and he's like, I can't just let this go because he's not on this show, but we'll make it unsanctioned. So then it went in the ring, and the ref was calling everything.
So but if Adam Pearce, who books the match, why is it unsanctioned?
Because it's truly, they should have been like, it's an exhibition match. You know what I mean? Like, but it goes into them not caring about stand-ins. They're not caring about anything. So you have to say,
sorry guys, I can't even hear you. I had to log out and come back in.
Can you hear us now? Can you hear me now? Nope, he cannot.
What about now?
No, he's gone now. He's about to come back. But yeah. Unsanctioned matches are always sanctioned. Like, what's it called? Who did that?
They got to be sanctioned by somebody if a referee's there.
AEW did it too.
AEW does a lot of dumb shit. So.
Yeah. Hold on, let me just bring this guy back in, and then we'll jump into Survivor Series. I always got to look down and look. Oh, yeah, Survivor Series. That's the name of the show. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you guys good now.
All right, so let's get into Survivor Series. Cool. Let's see. This one was like underwhelming, like pretty much when we looked at this and we like pretty much got all the same thing. But I didn't look at it, so let's see who won.
It was boring.
We didn't do the Battle Royal, so that's fine.
It was a Battle Royal?
Yeah, Battle Royal.
Yeah, in the pre-show.
Dominic almost won, but Miz knocked him out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a nice little swerve on the come up story. But yeah, Miz came back in, eliminated him, and so it was all right. It was very cookie cutter battle royale.
Yeah.
You
it was on the pre-show.
Know what I heard? What might happen for Royal Rumble?
Okay. Hold on, let's do this and we'll get into that. All right. Men's traditional 5-on-5. Raw.
Yo, they did SmackDown dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Got them all out. Like, that was cold, but
someone must have pissed someone
I'm assuming it had to do with just the Jey Uso story. Like, they did all that just to forward the Jey Uso story, because that was the only thing that really, in the end, that's the only thing that came out of it, right?
I just didn't understand why nobody got eliminated.
Because they're finally on the same page. Look at my eyes. Roll them. Yeah. So next, tag team Street Profits versus New Day. Street Profits won. We all got that. I even got the lucky red pen out. Let's see. All right. Then U.S. Championship, Bobby Lashley against Sami Zayn. That was light. Bobby did that. I don't get why they put the belt on Sami if they're just going to do him like he can't wrestle. I understand he can talk. He can talk, but what's the point?
He's been getting a lot of trouble backstage.
But they keep putting the belt on him, so the trouble can't be that serious. Like,
it'll probably get taken away from him. Just know.
That finish with the Apollo Crews match a few weeks ago where he tied his leg up.
Right?
Crazy. I've never seen that.
No, not at all.
I've never seen that. I've been watching wrestling my whole life. I've never seen that.
You're telling me he couldn't do something, play a trick or something on Bobby Lashley? Like, he might not fight him back, but do that same thing. Like, if you're going to tease that, he did that to Apollo. There's got to be something bigger he's going to do to Bobby Lashley.
Yeah.
Like, let us feel like he has a chance. No, he just gets crushed.
We knew he stood no chance against Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, pretty much.
But you got to make their business look strong. So,
all right. Women's SmackDown, Sasha versus Asuka. Trace picked Sasha. We picked Asuka, and we were wrong. They did right by Sasha. Very dope match. It was a very, very, very dope match. And it ended right. It ended where Sasha won. I didn't pick Sasha, but yeah. It was fine. Next one. Women's traditional. We all said SmackDown on the women's 5-on-5. Raw won.
Yeah.
Because Lana is the sole survivor. Sole survivor.
I should have stuck with what I was thinking. So I was saying that I remember I thought that Lana would win it, but I thought that she would also put thing through a table.
Yeah, but they did nothing close to that.
Did they? Nothing close to that. But when she was in the ring, she looked all right when she was in the ring.
I don't get where they're going with this whole thing, man. They keep playing her like she's just like a little kid. So
no, what it is? They're using her. She dropped a video, I guess, or she dropped something talking about how people feel like she's being bullied by the people and blah 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 blah. So as you see, they're trying to make it look like she's being bullied right now.
Okay.
It might be a star campaign or something.
That's true. Because yeah, you're right. She did put out that thing saying she's getting bullied online, and cyber bullies are even like crazier now because that's all she can see.
Yeah,
it's even worse. All right. So the last one, Universal Champion Roman Reigns versus the champion Drew McIntyre. Slim said no contest. Trey said Drew McIntyre. I said Reigns. So I got that right. And then Undertaker farewell. We won't get an answer for that until WrestleMania. Trey says no, he won't stay away. We say yes, he will stay retired.
Now, I think you guys might be right because I thought that if they were going to do it, they would have done it that night.
He said he's done.
So I'm yeah. It seems like that is that's a wrap, but we'll see.
He's done with, man.
All right, so I tallied up the tally, and Trace has 4, Slim has 3, so we know he's not champion anymore, and myself, I got 4.
So none of you is champion. So since you ain't champion and you ain't champion, I stay champion.
I think because you got the lowest, if we're going to do that, we might as well vacate the title.
Yeah, title gets vacated then. Yeah, that's fine.
No, what are you talking about?
Yeah, that's fine. No, he agreed. You heard him agree. I heard him agree. He said, yeah, it has to be vacated. He said it. It has to be.
Because we tied for the top. We tied for the most.
It's all right. It's all right.
You lost, so
it's all right. It's all right. No one wins the title, but usually what happens. Okay, you know what? No, you're right. You're right.
You can flip a coin if you like.
No, it's good because there's only 2 sides to the coin. So let it be vacated, and we'll wait to the next pay-per-view. The champion will be crowned.
Which is
next pay-per-view we could do is the NXT Takeover. That is on the 6th. So that's next week. And
that's not following anything.
After that,
or preceding something. Sorry.
TLC is on the 20th.
Okay.
So yeah, why
it's time.
why are we in such a rush? Why don't we just hold that build up for the championship? There's a lot of smack talk we have until now to the 20th.
Man, wait till I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna make this belt disappear from his picture. It's just gonna go. But okay. But yeah. All right. So that's Survivor Series. All in all, it was an all right show. It wasn't crazy.
Honestly, I thought it was shit. Other than the Roman and the Asuka match, like, you know, Asuka. One thing I gotta give about Sasha Banks, she does give some good freaking matches. So the Asuka Banks match was good, and the Reigns and
Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre
I
match,
heard that was good.
It was.
Those are two really good matches. Everything else was just like, fuck, bro. Like, you wasting my time.
Yo, like seeing them like across from each other is really dope. Like Drew McIntyre and Roman, I'm like, this might be our generation's like biggest rivalry right now. Like the two of these guys face to face might be our generation's biggest rivalry. Like we might
be like a Sting Flair thing, or
exactly.
You know,
Stone Cold Nick
Savage.
And that'd be good if it's a long lasting rivalry. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, even though there are times I might have your back, still got you my crosshairs. You know what I'm saying? Just like,
look at it like on both rosters, who else is like has the star power that the two of those have? Like
this reminds you of Stone Cold Rock. They didn't hate each other, right? Yeah. You knew they weren't friends. You knew they were rivals. They weren't enemies, but they were rivals.
Right.
And it's just like all right.
Whenever I got your back together, sometimes. You're like, yeah.
I got your back sometimes, but at any heartbeat, you'll get this stunner in a heartbeat. You know what I'm saying? Same thing. You know, you might get this Claymore in a heartbeat, or you might get
DTA
Superman punch in a minute. You know what I'm saying?
Those two are like, they're the biggest. To me, what's his name? So the whole plan for TLC. So what they're doing with the Drew's belt, they had a tournament where the people came together and it's going to end in a triple threat. It's going to be AJ versus Keith Lee versus Matt Riddle, which is pretty dope. They put two of the youngins in there, so that's pretty dope.
I like Riddle, man.
Before that, did you see that Matt Riddle, what's it called? The promo when he went and spoke to the Hurt Business, the MVP?
Yeah.
Nah.
So he goes there and he's like, I have all these ideas and do you want to hear it? Or whatever. And MVP's like, no. Matt Riddle goes, aw. When I say I laughed, I was like, even MVP stopped and looked at him and said, what? Like, what did you just do? But you could see in his face, it caught him. He went, huh? And then he kept going with his promo, but just the way Riddle's like, you want to hear it? He's like, no, I don't. He's like, aw. MVP was about to go off and he goes, what? And then he just keeps going. I was like, I think Riddle's finally like catching into who his character is. You know what I mean?
He's going to be good at it for a while.
Yeah.
He's going to be good at it.
I'm hearing that it's going to be Strowman versus
All
end of it will be Strowman versus
that's where I was going. Yeah. That's where I was going. So that whole thing is they do the whole triple threat thing. They kick Strowman up because Strowman headbutted or attacked Adam Pearce. So then he kicks him out, suspended. He's not a part of the matches. And then they leaked that Strowman's going to be the one going up against Drew McIntyre. So it's like, what was the whole point of this whole three-way? So I'm assuming now that he's suspended or whatever, they're going to have this three-way. He's going to come through and run through everybody and like demand to be I don't know.
I think what might happen is I think he may not end up doing it just because almost everybody knows this now. It's not a secret that they're doing this. So it's like, they can say, what, fuck it. You know what? Leave that rumor out there. And end of the day, we're going to put him against Matt Riddle.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even though we want to see him against AJ, but because it's TLC, they might put him against Matt Riddle.
It's WWE, right? So they love to change. whatever they do, so that makes sense.
But what I was hearing for Royal Rumble was they might have a youngster with it.
Did they say a specific one or just a youngster?
A 19-year-old youngster.
No.
Hold on.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
You mean Dominic?
No.
You're talking about Dominic, like Dominic?
They said that's when the rumors out there that the WrestleMania Royal Rumble might have a 19-year-old win WrestleMania.
He has
the only one's Dominic, right?
He has the personality of a mailbox.
I don't think he has a bad personality. I feel like he has to separate from his dad.
He is boring. He's nowhere near his dad.
He's boring. His sister's more entertaining than he is.
But his sister's not under his dad. You know what I mean? Like his sister's like character is fighting to get away from the family. Like Dominic is under his dad. So it's like he only moves if his dad tells him to move. You know what I mean? It's like you got to separate him from him.
You know who they need right now? They need Chavo Guerrero back.
Why?
Right? And they need Chavo Guerrero to come back and say, "Hey, Dominic, let me show you something," and go back to that. Remember back to those days where Eddie kind of had him, and Eddie was showing him. It's like, yo, this was your real pappy. This was the man who was showing you the ways. This was the man who actually showed you how to wrestle. It wasn't your dad. It was this man. And just have him conflicted because he's gonna remember it. And we saw the videos of Eddie and him. You know what I'm saying? And you can just break him away from that. You know what I'm saying? Bring in Chavo for 6 months. That runs, and then he has a ride with his dad, and he finally branches off and he does his own little thing. Yo, WWE, hire me quick.
It might happen.
They have to hire you, but also they have to separate. They got to get Dominic away from him because Dominic just seems like he sits there and then his dad's like mad and then he's like, okay, calm down, dad. It should be the other way around. He should be like the hot-headed son, like, oh shit, dad, I'm gonna fuck him up. And dad would be like, yo, chill, be like, chill. Nah, he ain't playing with my sister. Like, if it's like that, then you're like, whoa, there's a beast ready to be. He's being tamed by his dad. But if you take his dad away, what's he gonna do? You know what I mean? Right now, if you take his dad away, it's gonna be like, so what is he gonna do? He's gonna sit there, put his hands in his pocket, and start kicking the rock on the ground. Well, I'll just wait for my dad to come back. Like, he doesn't really seem anything.
Boring.
Right, yeah,
he's boring.
He's
like
boring.
this.
He is boring.
but
He reminds me. You know what he reminds you of? He has a personality of Justin Gabriel. That was it. No, not Justin Gabriel. Jordan. It was supposed to be Thing's son.
Jason Jordan.
Jason Jordan. His personality was.
Even he had a
I
little
like Jason
bit more
Jordan.
personality.
You like Jason Jordan?
I like Jason Jordan.
No,
I
I'm just saying.
I like them as a tag team, but him on his own, just like nothing was there.
No, there's some people who can take writing and use and work. I think if you let him be who he was, but just say this is your direction, it would have been much different. Like, I like Jason Jordan, but just like, the stuff he was given is like, he's not an actor. You know what I mean? A lot of these guys aren't actors. So you got to give them a direction and just say, go talk.
Yeah.
And they'll figure it out themselves. Because as soon as you're like, okay, you're going to say this, but make sure you inflect this word. Guess what you're going to do while you're out there? You're thinking of everything you're supposed to do. So you're not even thinking about acting anymore. You're like, I don't know what you want to do. So you just jump at that one word. And you're like, they told me to inflect you want to do, but what about the rest though?
That reminds me of my boy, We the People. Just like, don't talk, bro. I don't want to hear your list.
Yes, but that right there put him over though.
It did.
When you said We the People?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was about
he didn't have to say much.
But you wanted to see, but remember before that, when he used to talk on the mic, I was like, bro, don't talk, man.
Yes.
Oh, was it Zeb Coulter? Zeb Coulter?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was his mouthpiece after all. But before, it was like,
no, when he did it, no, don't bring the Mex-Americans in this. What were they called? Oh my god, I was
Alberto.
Oh my gosh, I was like, come on, we're reaching the end of this. We're reaching the end of this.
But him and what's his name, Jack Eller, they had a good run.
Yeah, We the People's actually think about how good We the People work right now in WWE.
Yeah.
Well, not really, because there's no crowd. But if there was a crowd, how
Think about
well
it.
that would work. We the People right now.
We the People work so well that when Jack Hager does anything today, there's a We the People chant that happens. That chant will happen.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing they know about him. So it's
it
like,
worked. It worked too well.
It did. Oh yeah. Jack Hager, Jack Swagger.
Jack
There was
Swagger.
no swagger there. Like they should have just called him Swagger Jack. Like there was no swagger there. You got to go get somebody's. But yeah, talk about Jack. Him and what's the name are trying to do partners again still. Chris Jericho. I don't know. I just can't get into AEW, man. It's driving me nuts. Say that again.
Does he wrestle?
Does Chris wrestle?
No. Is Jack Hager cleared to wrestle?
Yeah. He got his face beat up, but yeah. I think he was on the show. Like
I couldn't tell last time I seen this guy actually in the ring wrestling.
Well, it was yesterday, I believe. That he was in the thing, yeah. No, yeah. Him and Chris Jericho on that tag team thing again. I don't know. I just can't, like, as much as I try to get into, it's just too many questions. And not the good questions. Not the question like, oh, what's going to happen next? Oh my God, what's going to happen next? It's not that. It's like, what just happened?
In all reality, I prefer to watch Impact Wrestling when I catch it.
Impact, it's all about the way it looks to me. That goes right back to the NXT thing. It's just like, it seems so small.
It's good for me.
Little.
Like the good thing about that for me is I don't have to try to keep up with what the storyline is. I just tune in, watch some good wrestling, and I'm out.
Yeah, I like
stories. ROH. A lot of the wrestlers I don't know.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just like there's some good, but I don't know anybody other than like the ones who were there from the get go or who left like Impact or left.
Went to different places and went back. Yeah.
I don't know them, so it's like I'm not looking forward. I used to watch ROH before when Kevin Stein was there, who is now Kevin
Owens.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? When all those guys were there, you know what I'm saying? I used to watch it, but now no one's there. I don't know anybody, so
I think since AEW started and how they rated the indies, people don't realize that they did, but they rated the indies. That now the indies aren't really interesting anymore.
That's
like
true.
Who out there?
Everybody
was signing up people now because they knew they couldn't just let a wrestler go, because unless they're on WWE's radar, they don't have to worry about anybody signing them. You know what I mean? But now they have to worry about AEW signing people up. So then ROH started picking up all their people. MLW was taking a few people, like anybody that was in the independents that were good or getting the buzz started to get picked up by all the companies.
I watch MLW.
And I still got to look at MLW. I hear like Court Bauer runs that. So storyline wise, it should be good. Like storylines, it should be good, but I haven't taken it in yet.
Yo, they get some wrestling. They managed to get some rotted lick over here, yo.
Oh yeah.
One of the Samoans, Fatu, is a champion. He just beat Davey Boy Smith Jr. He looks a lot better now.
Jacob Fatu and Dave. Yep.
Pillman Jr. is there, right? He's there. Thing is there right now. What's his name?
Leo Rush just got signed.
Leo Rush is there.
Yeah, Leo Rush just got signed there.
And the guy who wants to fight Leo Rush is another. He looks like a skinny. Yeah, he don't look big, but another black guy he goes, I want to fight you for the you know what I'm saying? You're the legend. You know what I'm saying? I'm the up and comer. So, but these guys can both wrestle. Like they're
quick as hell.
They're quick as hell. But I'll be honest with you, they look a little bit more indie, more amateurish than like when you see Leo Rush working in WWE.
No, okay.
It looks more. He looks more fluid with it. You know what I'm saying? You ever see someone dribble the ball? You know they can play ball, but when they're dribbling, like, I wouldn't want him to dribble the ball, but you know he can play. But there's a guy who he just looks so smooth with it.
Yeah.
That's the difference. You know he can wrestle, but it's just like, but Leo Rush is just smooth with it. So I know
he's so quick. Leo Rush is too quick, man.
I know how that's gonna transition, but I watch it. It's not bad. You get a lot of wrestling in there. you're gonna see a lot of guys. I see a lot of guys who are there. I know in a couple years are gonna be in WWE. You know what I'm saying? They had a couple of Vince type of guys in there. That Fatu guy probably make his way up there probably.
Fatu is family, right? So
I think Fatu's family.
Fatu's family. The only reason he wasn't signed to WWE, I believe, is because of his record. He's got arrested a few times. So
And he can't come to Canada.
Yeah, he can't really travel, but right now, who cares, right? So
and
he would be the dope one. What's it called? Me and Ro, my brother was talking about this. Was he would be a dope one to be a part of the whole team of the Roman Reigns shit going on right now, as the rowdy cousin, like the one that like he's like, you know what, Jay, you're just not handling shit. You're not handling. So I had to make that call.
Yep.
And when Jacob comes in, he's like, oh man.
The role that Jay is kind of trying to play right now.
Yeah. And then Jacob just come in like, who you need? Him? Boom. Knocks him out. And Jay's like, man, I can do it. And he's looking at him like, nah, little man, not you. You know what I mean? And he's just like, he's Roman's second in command. And Jay's story would be trying to get that look from Roman. Like, yo, bro, stop overlooking me.
Yeah.
So he keeps doing the little shit, like the same shit he's doing now. Running in matches when he's not supposed to, doing interviews when he's not supposed to. He's still doing all that, trying to gain his attention, because Roman's attention is more on Jacob. Like anytime he needs something, he sends Jacob to do it. If it's a tag team, then Jacob and Jay. But then in the tag team, Jacob's always trying to play Jay like, nah, you chill, I'll handle this.
Yeah, man. But they can't beat him all the way down unless they're gonna do like a babyface redemptive story.
Yeah, bring him back, and then once Jimmy comes, Jimmy's like, yo, you don't have to do that. You know, you don't have to do that, yo. I ain't trying to go down with him. Let's take care of them. And then, or that's the whole story. Like they beat him down so much that Jay's just like, he comes in like, nah, bro, this ain't happening no more. And then that's where Jay's like, you know what, Jimmy, you're right. And they turn on the other two.
Yo, here's my question to you. Do you think right now that the fact that Jay's injured right now,
Jimmy,
the fact that Jimmy's injured right now, right, is doing him any favors? Because you know wrestling is a cutthroat business, and yeah, you guys are twins, but right now your brother's doing it. Right now your brother's doing it, and you know Vince doesn't give a fuck about breaking up tag teams.
Yeah.
He don't care. He don't really care about breaking up tag teams, and if Jay's doing it right now, and I can say, as you can see, we already seen him do a main event, so we know he can main event. Right?
Maybe that's Jay's way of solidifying his heel turn. So right now he's still in the middle, like, yo, I got to do this for the family. But we know that, you know what I mean? He's kind of fighting against Roman's leadership. But maybe that's his way to prove to Roman, same way that Roman proved to the world that all that matters is the belt. So I'll take out my family. So he turns around and takes out Jimmy like, I get rid of him too. You know what I mean? And then Jimmy's the baby face going against the big family. But then that kind of leaves Jimmy in the Tucker position.
Here's what happens.
That's not good.
WWE, are you listening? Here's what happens.
Don't want to see Jimmy chasing 24/7 belt.
Don't do it.
Jimmy comes back.
The gobbledygooker won the 24/7
Jimmy comes back. Jay
Listen.
Can't take it no more. Every time he tries to do something, he gets Reigns gets pissed at him, so he's like, you know what, fuck it, I'm out. I'm just gonna go on my own and do my own thing. Jimmy stays with Reigns. They have a match where Usos stick together. Blood is thicker than water, but they twins. Twins turn on Reigns. Jimmy gets a title run for a bit because he can talk on the mic, right? He can wrestle, right? They have a nice catchphrase, you know what I'm saying, that the crowd can get into, blah blah blah. He holds the belt for a little bit and then he loses it to Tribal Council again. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna have to, because Reigns can't hold the belt forever.
It's a Tribal Council. This ain't a Survivor, bro. You just threw me off. He said Tribal Council. I was like, Tribal Council? Who's getting voted off? But sorry to interrupt.
Nah, man, but because by the way, after a while, how long can you run with this? You know what I'm saying?
It's true though.
How long can you run with this? What you do is you always got to throw us a curveball. And hey, if Kofi was ready to win a title, if you can give the title to friggin' my boy there, what's that Indian guy's name again?
Jinder
Mahal, you could definitely give it to friggin'.
Look, you better keep that belt on Reigns for as long as you can.
That's their plan. Big E. That's their plan. But where's Big E? They're not even giving it be like a squash match.
They can start working it now.
I heard something about him not getting a push again.
That's what I heard. He's not getting the push again.
And I think right now what's the problem with the wrestlers is that with the whole Twitch shit, all that's the third party stuff, a lot of them are rebelling. Like, as in, if they're like, okay, I'm gonna need you to do this, they're gonna look back at him and be like, no, I don't want to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's gonna be a time where you're gonna lose all control. Because
think about it, New Day, they're not split up. You know what I mean? As much as they're like, okay, we're gonna put him on this show and this show, New Day said, quick, we're not split up. We're still doing our podcast. Still bigging each other up. Like, we're not split up. We just got put in a video game, Gears of War 5. Like,
yeah, they got put in Gears of War 5, yo.
You're not splitting us up. But a lot of people have more say nowadays because of AEW, right? So I think like a lot of people are just like, no. So then Vince is trying to be like, man said no? Fuck it then. Let me figure out.
Yeah, because else. I've heard someone said that, yo, no one tells Vince no.
You don't tell Vince no without another option. You know what I mean? I've heard a lot of wrestlers say that. Like, if you're going to tell Vince no, have another idea there. Don't just say no. And he's like, okay, then what do you want to do? I don't know. I just know I don't want to do that. Yeah. All right, cool. I will have you doing nothing at all. Fine. You know what I mean? You have to give them an idea.
Speaking of wrestlers rebelling and, people disappearing, Aleister Black, apparently they have nothing to do with it for him.
But that was before Zelina got fired.
And it has nothing to do with his wife being fired either.
No, that was before Zelina got fired. So
yeah, but you don't think it has to be his
coincidental.
It might at this point be something where they're like, fuck it, don't even bother thinking of something. You know what I mean? They might be at that point just like, yeah, we're just not going to do anything at all.
Because he
wanted to go to NXT and Vince said no.
Yeah, but that's
you want to be away from Vince. You want to be away from Vince. You want to be under Triple H, where he was. A lot of these guys were comfortable being under Triple H.
Let's be serious. They all want to be under Triple H because Triple H made them feel good. You know what I mean? Triple H made them feel like you're important. Vince makes you feel like, yo, bro, you're replaceable. If you don't do this, I'll find someone else who will.
Good cop, bad cop.
You know what I mean? That's why it's the whole thing, like Luke Harper, Brody Lee. Brody's like, he hated that I couldn't do a Southern accent. That's Vince. Vince is like, you can't do it. I'll find someone else to do it. Like, I don't need you. And he's made the system to be like that. Like, the last biggest person who could control anything is what? John Cena.
Yeah.
After John, he was like, nah, ain't nobody getting that much control.
Yep.
He got lucky with John Cena that John Cena was so loyal.
Yeah.
Because look at everything he did with Chris Jericho, and just Jericho was like, yo, I'm loyal. I'll never wrestle for another American. The man said, I'll pay you this much. He said, yeah, I'll wrestle for you. I'll wrestle for you.
No, but he said, yo, he went back to Vince and he goes, yo, this is what they're offering me.
Why?
Vince is like, what? Vince is like, fine.
Vince will tell you, take it. Vince go ahead, go take it because I'm not going to give it to you.
Of course.
That was his, but Vince was really good. That was his move in WCW days. What he would do is he'd give people an offer and he'd tell them if the offer doesn't work out, at least, or actually he wouldn't tell the person directly because then they would just turn around and use it. But he'd tell other people in the background, he's like, in the end, I'm gonna get that person more money. Because if they don't take my offer, I know that the other side's gonna offer them more money. So I can feel good knowing that I got them more money anyway.
Mm.
So if you're gonna find somewhere else, they're gonna give you more money than Vince's gonna give you. Vince's gonna be like, bro, go take your money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But same time, just because you left doesn't mean all my intellectual property you're allowed to use. You're part of the other business. Friendship's not over, but this is business.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna cost you.
Yep. Jericho's lucky he owns his name.
No,
Cody
like
had the huh?
Oh, Cody?
No, Jericho is lucky he owned his name. He's
Yeah.
lucky on Cody. Cody learned. Cody had to be a nuisance. Cody had to be like, you know what? I'm gonna try to pick up everything WCW. To the point WWE's like, you know what? We'll give you roads. Just stop. Cody's like, cool. Sure. I'll take roads then. And then he just stopped. He let go of all his WCW, the things that he's chasing.
You got to do it. It's your identity. It's your business.
Yeah. And so he was making them spend money they didn't want to spend. Like these are all like names that they just left out there because they didn't care. But then now he's buying them up. They're buying it back, and they're like, "Fuck, why are we buying this shit back to not use it?" So it's just sitting there. We're buying it so no one else can use it. Like, stop doing it. Leave us alone, Cody. Take your name.
So can WWE now use the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic now?
Yeah. They still own Dusty Rhodes. They just let Cody be able to copyright the name Cody Rhodes.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So now he can finally, instead of just going Cody Rhodes. In the end, that name gives him weight. It gives him weight because Dusty is a big name. So when they hear Rhodes, they're like, "You related to Dusty?
Yeah.
You related to Goldust?" Oh yeah. But it looks like we got super extra time.
Oh yeah, they're giving out. I just saw they're giving out unlimited for next. Giving out unlimited for the next couple days. I think up until.
So everybody in Thanksgiving can talk.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
I'm not gonna say Bun Thanksgiving because Americans will hate us. I guess I said it.
If you don't say it, I'll say it. Bun Thanksgiving.
Well, thanks.
Wouldn't mind some mac and cheese, though.
Go do your research and your homework on what Thanksgiving really is, and then come back and tell me I wasn't right what I was saying, Bunny.
Happy family dinner.
I wouldn't mind some turkey, though.
Happy Turkey Day. Yeah, we can have some turkey still.
Happy family dinner. Enjoy your family dinner. Your family gathering. You get your family gathering day.
Every Turkey Day. Thanksgiving is not for us.
So, make sure to follow us. Oh, no. Trace, take us out.
Shot Club Podcast. Like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell to stay notified. You never know when we're going live. And we're going live. Follow us at Shot Club Podcast on IG and Casual Fan Podcast on IG.
Yes, sir. All right, though. So that's another show. Unlimited for the family gathering weekend. You're welcome, people. And yeah, catch us live on IG. Live. Peace, everybody.
Peace.